So
Ho ho ho.
cursed.
Merry Christmas, Kurtmas, whatever you want to call it. Welcome to another Christmas wrestling review. Last year we did TNA Impact. This year we're doing WWF because why not? This was the December 24th, 2001 episode of Monday Night Raw, Christmas edition, and it was extremely cursed. Um, so a little backstory before we get into this review. I actually have a history with this episode that I had forgotten about. So this episode in particular, um, so when I first got into wrestling in like 2009, like it was maybe like a year or two after I first got into wrestling, and my mom had gotten some wrestling VHS tapes from this garage sale that she went to or whatever. And some of them were like actual VHS tapes and some were just like blank VHS tapes that just said like WWF or WWF Raw on them. So basically they were like episodes that people taped onto VHS or whatever from their TV at the time. So I had got this one that had just said WWF Raw on it, and I didn't know what it was. And I remembered seeing this promo of The Rock wearing a Miami Hurricanes jersey and reading uh his fucking night before Christmas poem. And I had this image of it in my head because I remember popping it in my VCR, and that was the first thing I seen. And I remember that promo, and then I remembered seeing Kane in a Santa hat, and fucking then I just never seen this episode again until now. And basically we were trying to decide what to do for the Christmas special this year for reviews. And Austin brought up the December 24th, 2001 episode of Raw, and it caused me to have like this hidden memory that I had hidden away for so long. And I was like, I remember some kind of like Attitude Era Raw Christmas episode. And I asked Austin, oh, did The Rock do a promo on it? He said, yeah. So then I looked up a clip of The Rock doing the promo from the show, and I said, oh my god, this is the fucking Raw episode that I seen on the VHS tape like years ago, and I just never seen it again. And so that's pretty much the story behind this episode for me. In terms of the videotape, if you're wondering what happened to that, God knows. I don't know what the fuck happened to all my old WWF videotapes that I had. I probably got rid of it. I don't remember. I do remember, though, one thing that was on the VHS tape that wasn't on here, obviously, because it was on Peacock. I do remember the Kane Chef Boyardee commercial, if anybody has ever seen that.
Oh,
So, I
oh
remember seeing
no.
that. Um, but yeah, so without further ado, now let's get to this review of the holiday Christmas edition, the actually Christmas Eve edition. They specified that Christmas Eve edition of Raw. So this was cursed. It started out.
It was
It,
so cursed.
it took place in Miami, Florida, and it started out with The Rock coming out dressed in a Miami fucking fuck. Miami. He came out in a fucking Miami jersey of the football plane, the Miami Hurricanes, of which is the football team that he used to play on, and he got the the hometown reaction since he's from Miami, Florida, and shit, and fucking The Rock was so fucking over at this time as well. And so The Rock starts cutting a promo about how he's back home and starts talking about him playing for the Miami Hurricanes. And then he starts he says, "Oh, The Rock wants to read his book," and he gets handed this book. That what did it say on it?
It said fucking it was something about The Rock and Christmas. I don't.
So basically, it was just this
Oh,
book,
it was The
and
Rock's "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." That's what
yeah.
it was.
So it was like this book that The Rock had written his own "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" because why not? Um, and so The Rock starts reading it, and he like makes his own lines of like beating Jericho's ass because we find out that the main event of this episode of Raw is The Rock versus Chris Jericho for the Undisputed Championship. And while The Rock is reading his "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," Perk Angle comes out, and this is Kurt Angle with hair, and so
Yep, Merry Kirkmas.
he comes out and starts cutting a promo on The Rock and starts talking about Christmas and saying that the only person more powerful
Kirkmas.
than Santa Claus is Vince McMahon, and the crowd starts calling him an asshole, and The Rock tells him to let the crowd finish calling him an asshole, and then Kurt Angle reveals that Vince McMahon has added him to the main event, so it will now be Chris Jericho defending the undisputed title against Kurt Angle and The Rock. And The Rock starts reading more "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" and puts lines about whooping Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho's candy asses, which didn't even rhyme. Um, and then that was pretty much the opening promo. Um, so the main crux of this show was basically Vince McMahon and Ric Flair were competing against each other to see who could have the better Christmas party for some reason. And so Vince was having his Christmas party and Ric Flair was having his Christmas party. And we get this cursed image of Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe dressed up as elves, which you'll see in the thumbnail here. And not only that, we have Bubba Ray Dudley dressed up as Santa Claus, calling himself Bubba Claus. And we had fucking Stacy Keibler in a Santa outfit, which Austin liked very much. Um,
Very much.
and you know everybody's like vibing at this party, having a good time, and then you just got Kane just sitting there so dead inside, and fucking Edge and fucking A Train are talking to Kane, and they're just like, "Oh, come on, Kane, get in the holiday spirit, have some Christmas cheer." And they put a Santa hat on Kane, and they give him a bottle of alcohol, and they put bows on his face, and they put an ornament on his chest, and Kane just stands there so dead inside. Um,
Kane looked like he was having war flashbacks throughout this show. Like he
yeah,
looked like he just saw what, like he just heard that Katie Vick came back from the dead. Like legitimately.
yeah. Um, and so basically, we just see the Christmas party, and then I believe we got the first match of the night, which was Rikishi versus Test. For some fucking reason, I don't know why.
Because the high school sock hop.
Yeah, we get to hear high school
That's
sock hop,
why.
and so Rikishi comes out, and then Test comes out. Now, this is might have been the dumbest thing that happened on this show, so I want to explain what happens here. So this match starts back and forth between two big men, whatever, nothing bad or anything, and then all of a sudden, referee Tim White starts getting in Test's face. I don't know why, and Test and Tim White start yelling at each other, and Test starts going, "Oh, hit me, come on, punch me in the face, hit me, come on." And Tim White fucking decks Test in the face with a right hand, and Test is like holding his jaw, And then Tim White rings the bell and disqualifies Test. And I asked Austin, I said, is that allowed? If a referee hits somebody, can the referee just disqualify them? How does that work? He punched
I
Test in the
don't
face
know.
and then said, you're disqualified. And Test was just like, what? I don't know what that was. It was so confusing. And then, so Rikishi won on a disqualification, and Test just walked away all mad. And it's just like, what the fuck? And the match was only like 2 minutes. And then we see fucking, after that, we see Ric Flair's Christmas party, and we see how it's going, and Ric Flair is there, and Trish Stratus is there, and Tori Wilson's there dressed up in a Santa outfit, and then their Santa Claus is Tajiri Claus, which is Tajiri dressed up as Santa, and they have
Yeah,
fucking,
the legend.
yeah, and fucking for some reason, goddamn, we see Maven there, and fucking Booker T, and the Big Boss Man, and all these other fucking people, and fucking I'm trying to remember what the second match was. I know they gave us like an advertisement for later in the night. They're like, oh, it's going to be an eggnog match between Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson, which was later in the night. Um, and
Mm, mm.
I'm trying to remember what the second match was. Fucking was it was it
I
Booker
think it was
T and
Billy and Chuck.
Maven? Billy and Chuck.
No, it was
Okay.
Billy and Chuck.
So then we randomly get this tag team match of the APA versus Billy and Chuck. Keep in mind, a year before this, Chuck Palumbo was in WCW as a part of the Natural Born Thrillers and the Perfect Event. And a year later, his first WWE gimmick is Billy and Chuck. Like, and this was before they were with Rico, so it's like this really weird version of Billy and Chuck where they come out to Billy Gunn's theme, and there's no Rico, but so they had this match with the APA, and Bradshaw delivers a nasty looking clothesline from hell on fucking Chuck Palumbo. But the way the match ends is fucking Farouk is gets downed by Billy Gunn, and then on the outside Chuck Palumbo holds down Farouk's legs so he can't kick out, and Billy and Chuck get the 1, 2, 3, and they beat the APA, and the match was like 3 minutes. Um, then fucking we go back to Vince McMahon's party, and we see Taz walk in, and Taz starts talking to Bubba Claus, and is saying that Bubba Claus needs to be a better Santa Claus, and Bubba gets in his face and says, oh, you're just jealous because all my elves are taller than you. And I'm like, what is this, man? Like, just this is so cursed. And fucking, so then we see Maven standing there looking like fucking Caesar from GTA San Andreas in his fucking tank top, and fucking Maven starts he getting interviewed, and he starts talking about how he fucking uh was watching Tough Enough season 2 or whatever, and I don't understand what happened here. Just out of nowhere, Booker T gets angry at Maven, and it's just like, oh, what did you say about me, Maven? And Maven was like, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything about you. And Booker T's like, he's like, oh no, what'd you say? What'd you say about me? And he's like getting all mad, and Maven looks so confused, and Booker T was like, he was like, I'll see you in the ring tonight. And Maven was just like, I don't know what's going on. And then you had fucking Big Boss Man in a suit sitting there like gassing Booker T up. Like, I don't understand what this was. And then we get, like, right after that, we get the match of fucking Booker T versus Maven. I'm just like, why? And
Oh no, no, you're it's not after that because you forgot about the most important match on the show,
hmm,
the eggnog match.
was that next or was it the fucking RVD match?
Well, it was RVD, but you were skipping ahead because Maven and Booker T was later on in the show.
All right, well you talk about this fucking match then.
All right, well RVD and Lance Storm happens because RVD is pissed off at Chris Jericho, like he visibly should be. Everybody should hate fucking Chris Jericho. I side with RVD on this uh, situation. And then he finds Lance Storm in Chris Jericho's office, and he's like, "Oh, well then let's fight then. If you're gonna have a problem with me." And they have like a 2-minute match where RVD wins it.
Yep.
Like, it legit wasn't anything, bro.
Yep. That was literally it. Oh, and also like they had the segment where RVD was talking to Landstone in the locker room. RVD was trying to sound threatening, but he doesn't sound threatening or intimidating at all because he's such like a stoner,
Oh
and
man,
he's just like, oh yeah, man, you tell Chris Jericho that I'm not just gonna like sit here and take this dude because like if his messenger boy has a problem with it, then I'll face you in the ring tonight, and I'm gonna kick your butt, dude. I'm just like, what? Like, you don't sound intimidating at all.
bro,
Like,
he sounds like a lead fucking IT support at like a big major firm. He sounds like Ben Shapiro. No.
he does. So, was the next match the eggnog match?
Oh, you betcha.
Well, I'll let you fucking take the helm on this.
Well, first we get Stacy Keibler coming out in her outfit, and might I say she looked scrumdiddlyumptious. Um, sorry, I have to have my inner Jerry Lawler for this match. Um, and she looked fine coming down the ramp, and she goes by the eggnog area, and then Tori Wilson comes out. It's like, eh.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
she goes by the eggnog area. And then Stacy Keibler got robbed this match because the ref did a fast count in the eggnog, and it was a robbery. It was pure robbery. But the ref was also fucking flopping around like a fish in the eggnog as well. So he obviously was discombobulated by the attractiveness of Stacy Keibler. So I still think it's robbery, but nonetheless, fucking Tori Wilson won through robbery.
Mm-hmm.
She cheated. Um, and yeah,
Don't forget, before this, they showed Tajiri Claus was giving out his Christmas presents, and Tajiri Claus gave Tori Wilson lingerie for Christmas, which
nobody
was
cares about that.
cursed.
Nobody
and
cares. Nobody
and
cares.
don't forget the curse line that Jerry Lawler said, where he said he wanted to get into the eggnog with Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson, and JR told him no, and Jerry Lawler said, "You're right, because I can't stand up anyway," implying that he has a full-on erection and he can't stand up because he's gonna fucking show everybody his hard on if he stands up. It was so cursed. But fucking then at Ric Flair's party, fucking Stone Cold arrives and everybody gets all hyped for Stone Cold, and he gets there and it's just like looking at Tajiri Claus, and he was like, "What the hell are you supposed to be?" And they're telling him, "Oh, that's Tajiri Claus," and he's like, "Oh, I see. You're supposed to be Santa Claus," and then Stone Cold like sits on his lap and he's like, "Oh, I got a whole Christmas list for you." And Tajiri's like, "What?" And Stone Cold says, I have a Christmas list. And he's like, huh? And he says, I have a Christmas list for you. And Tajiri's just not understanding what he says. And Stone Cold says something about Tajiri being Japanese and not being able to understand him. And I was like, you can't say
Oh,
that. And then he just starts reading the list anyway. And then on the Vince McMahon side of things, we get this part where Kurt Angle walks in, or no, not Kurt Angle, fucking Chris Jericho walks in, and he's mad at Vince McMahon for adding Kurt Angle into the title match. And Vince is like telling him, "Oh, you'll be fine. If you were in my shoes, you'd understand that this is good for business, and whatever." And then all of a sudden, Stephanie McMahon walks in, and I don't know like what storyline was going on at this time, but apparently like Vince did not want to speak to Stephanie at all, whatever's going on with that. And so Stephanie, Vince is like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And Stephanie's like, "Oh, I know you don't really want to speak to me right now, but it's Christmas and I wanted to give you something. And I figured now would be like the perfect time of any time to give you something." So she gives him a gift, and Vince is like, "Oh, what is it?" And she's like, "Oh, it's a money clip for you to put your money on, and it even has like your initials engraved into it, and it has like something written on the back that I've been wanting to tell you for a long time." And Vince like opens it and looks at it, and Vince fucking is just like, "All right, what are you up to?" And she was like, What are you talking about? What do you mean? What am I up to?" And he was like, you just come in here and give me this. What are you up to?" And she's like, I'm not up to anything. It's Christmas. Are you kidding me?" And Vince is like, Vince is like, "You're trying to manipulate me." And she's like, "No, I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm trying to tell you I love you and that I want to give you a hug." And she starts crying, and Vince is like, he's like, "You're trying to manipulate me, damn it." And he starts getting so pissed. And Vince starts getting so red in the face, and he's like, "I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to manipulate me." And he's like, "You think you're gonna embarrass Vincent Kennedy McMahon at his own Christmas party?" And then he's like, "This is my party, damn it, and I don't want you here." He's like, "So get the hell out of here." And fucking, he's like
he's
screaming
so
at her to
riled up.
go.
He's so riled up that everybody's like fucking just stopped and stunned, and then he just goes, "Party, damn it!"
Vince is like red in the face too. I don't know if he was actually pissed or not, but he was red in the face. Fucking, that's the last we see of Stephanie on this show. And
I
fucking,
think the reason that that happened is because this is coming off the invasion storyline where Stephanie and Shane like turned on
oh
Vince.
yeah, yeah, because this wasn't long
Yeah,
after the invasion. I think was the Maven match next, or was it the Christian match?
Christian was first.
Okay, so then all of a sudden we fucking hear the "At Last You're on Your Own" theme song of Christian. And then Christian comes out, he's the European champion, and we find out, oh, we're getting a European title match. And Christian starts cutting a promo about Miami and how they're losers, and just like his opponent tonight is a loser. And then Hurricane and Mighty Molly come out, and Hurricane is just for whatever reason getting a European title match. And so we get this match with Christian and the Hurricane. Keep in mind, a year prior to this, Hurricane was in WCW as Sugar Shane Helms as part of 3 Count. Um, and fucking so the match itself, it was decent. It wasn't a bad match. It was just a really quick match. And fucking Christian retains the European title, which I expected him to, and that was pretty much it. And but Austin did tell me how exactly Molly Holly joined Hurricane. If you want to tell everybody how that went down.
Oh yeah, the Hurricane just kidnapped her. like multiple times and brainwashed her.
Jesus Christ. Why did he kidnap her? Isn't he supposed to be a superhero?
I don't know. That was just the reasoning.
So that was pretty much that match. Fucking wasn't anything too crazy. Um, and then fucking I think it's at this point for the Vince McMahon party where fucking like all these women start coming in. Oh yeah, there's this really cursed moment where like where fucking Test is like getting down and he's boogieing and he's partying and Test is fucking feeling himself and Test is watching fucking Nydia like strip and then Test fucking sees Terry Runnels and Test fucking sits here and he's like Test is like spitting his game and he's Test is trying to as the young kids say riz her up. Test was trying to use his riz on Terry Runnels and
Too
my
bad he had that Ohio Riz.
and fuck
So
you and fucking so Terry Runnels was just like uh Tess was talking about like you can have Test all to yourself tonight and she was like but didn't you lose last week on SmackDown and he's like yeah but that was a fluke anyway. It was so cursed and he just got cucked. And then I think
he got cucked in that company ever since fucking he got fucked over by Triple H. Like,
yeah. Fucking, I think that's around the time where fucking Mae Young and Moolah showed up to Vince's party as well,
yes.
and fucking,
Ugh,
so
bro.
there was all like these beautiful women there, and then for some reason Mae Young and Moolah showed up, and fucking, but it's at this point in the show also where like Taz goes to Ric Flair's party and is like talking trash to Tajiri Claus and them and is saying like, oh, you know, Bubba Claus says that he's a better Santa Claus than Tajiri Claus and he's tougher and he's meaner and he's jollier and all this shit and then Stone Cold's like, oh, you're
What
just
shit?
huh?
I wanted to say like Tajiri Claus, he's the real one. Like,
Fucking
nobody gives a fuck about Bubba.
fucking Stone Cold was killing me because he's like Taz is just like sitting here talking about all this shit, and Stone Cold just gets up and he's like, "Listen here, you little bitch," and he's just like, I think you're just talking trash," and Taz is like, "Oh no, I'm not talking trash. That's just what Bubba said," and Stone Cold was like, Nah, you're going back and forth between Vince's party and Ric Flair's party. You're just trying to talk trash between the two Santa Clauses. And fucking Taz is like, no, I'm just saying what Bubba Claus said. And then fucking Stone Cold is like, he's like, oh well. He said, how about this? How about tonight we get? I don't know how Stone Cold did this with like a serious face. He's like, how about tonight we get Tajiri Claus versus Bubba Claus in the first ever Santa versus Santa match to see who the real Santa really is. And he says and then he says, if you think Tajiri Claus is the real Santa, give me a hell yeah. And I was like, how is Stone Cold doing this with a serious face? Like, there's no way he took that shit seriously. And then Austin theorized that Stone Cold was probably drunk off his ass. So, but fucking, so that match is set for tonight. But before that, we gotta talk about the Maven match, which was the next match. Um, So Maven versus Booker T. So Booker T comes out first with fucking Big Boss Man. For some reason, Big Boss Man is like his manager. I don't understand this. I don't know why. Like the dynamic that I noticed here is like Booker T seems to have a lot of anger problems and Big Boss Man just is like his enabler that like gasses him up. That's how it comes off. And so then
Yeah.
Maven comes out It's so bad. His Titantron literally just says tough enough. It doesn't even say Maven. It just says tough enough. And he has like the most generic theme music. And he comes out just wearing like white wrist tape and a pair of fucking baggy sweatpants. And he's wearing some like
I
New
think
Balances.
I don't think he's had many matches because I'm pretty sure the only reason he was in the Rumble that year was because he won a contest on Tough Enough. Like, he was still doing Tough Enough when he was in that Rumble.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, because that
Um,
Rumble's where he eliminated Taker. That's like his highlighted career moment. His only highlighted moment, to be honest.
hang on. I mean, he had this match with Booker T. I think this is a pretty good match with Booker T. It was
He
pretty
got his
competitive
ass
too.
beat the entire match and did like nothing
Are
with Booker
you are
T.
you telling me that you did not see the 5-star classic that I saw?
All I saw was Maven getting the shit kicked out of him, and then Booker T doing a scissors kick, and then Boss Man saying, "No, no, no, that's not enough." And Booker T daps him up, and then hits the fucking shittiest looking spine buster I've ever seen, and pins him off a spine buster, and that's it. That's all
Now,
I saw.
now Meltzer gave this a 5 out of 5. All right, so you
Jesus
can't
Christ.
disgrace this match.
Like, I don't.
He gave this match 7 stars, Devon.
Like, I don't understand why Booker T hit a spine buster to finish the match. Were they trying to like change his finisher to a spine buster or something? Because it did not look good. And then he won off of it, and we were just like, "What the fuck? Like, what is this?" But Booker T beats Maven, which at this point in
I
the
truly
show,
think Maven was robbed. Like he had so many near falls in that match where he could have beat Booker T there. 10
fucking.
star classic.
So at this point, we only got 2 more matches left on the show. And so fucking we get these next is the Santa versus Santa match of Bubba Claus versus Tajiri Claus. Bubba Claus comes out first. Then he comes out with Devon, and then Tajiri Claus comes out, and we find out Tajiri Claus is the fucking cruiserweight champion for some reason. And
Now, Tajiri Claus, I think, is the modern. Like he was that generation's AJ Styles. I think that's what
oh my god.
we're gonna say.
So we get this Santa versus Santa match. And no joke, within the first 5 seconds of the match, fucking they hit each other and both of their fucking hair and beards completely come off. And then the first like 5 seconds of the
Oh,
match.
don't discredit Bubba Claus. It was only his hat. He had his hair and his beard on for most of the match.
Jesus Christ. So they had this match, and pretty much the match was like Tajiri trying to fight against him, but fucking Devon kept helping Bubba get the upper hand, and fucking then they were double teaming on Tajiri, and all of a sudden Taz came out and pushed Devon because they were trying to do the was up, and the referee was like trying to stop him, and then Taz comes out and pushes Devon off the top rope, and he lands crotch first on the rope and then falls to the outside, and then the referee has his back turned, and Tajiri fucking red mists Bubba Claus in the face and then hits him with a buzzsaw kick. And when I tell you, this man might have done the most oversell of the buzzsaw kick I've ever
Now,
seen.
hang on. It was not overselling, all right. It was perfect. I can't even say it with a straight face anymore.
he he kicks Bubba in the face. Bubba like stumbles backwards and he jumps in the air and takes a back bump. And then Tajiri pins him 1, 2, 3 and wins.
No, hey, it wasn't Tajiri. It was Tajiri Claus. All right.
I've never seen the buzzsaw kick sold like that ever.
You mean the claws kick?
That's not what they called it.
Oh.
They said fucking. But that was the Santa versus Santa match. But one thing I forgot to talk about. I couldn't believe I oversighted this. One of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen on a wrestling show. I want to go back to the Christian and Hurricane match real quick because we forgot to talk about this. Um, so this crowd could not have given less of a shit about that match. Um, because during the match, Christian and Hurricane are sitting here wrestling, right? Going back and forth. And the crowd is just doing these chants that have nothing to do with the match, and they show like the camera shows like the crowd, and the crowd, like a bunch of people in the crowd are just like chanting towards each other, not even paying attention towards the match, and they're just like chanting random shit that has nothing to do with the match. And I was just like, bro, like I've never seen a wrestling match where the crowd just didn't care this much to where they just start chanting towards each other and doing like the wave and shit in the crowd. I was just like, what is going on, bro? This is ridiculous. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I forgot to talk about. The only other thing to talk about really is fucking Vince McMahon's party kind of gets shut down because fucking Kurt Angle comes in and is like promising Vince that he's gonna win the undisputed title and all this shit. And then someone says something about strip. So Mae Young says, "Did somebody say strip?" And she gets up on this stripper's table and begins to take her clothes off, and everybody's like, "No, no, no, don't do that." And she starts taking her clothes off. But for some reason, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe are like, "Oh, take it off, take it off." And I'm just like, why are you egging her on? And they go to commercial and they cut back, and fucking Mae Young takes her pants down, and they're all fucking Vince and everybody else is just going, oh man, like they're just grossed out. And then Mae Young pulls her underwear down, and everybody looks like they're gonna vomit. And I even heard Austin gagging as well. It was so disgusting. And fucking then in the background we see the Christmas tree begin to move, and Vince like starts getting curious, and he's like, he starts yelling at Briscoe and Patterson. It's like, "Oh, did you guys move the Christmas tree?" And they're like, "No." And Vince is like, "Well, how the hell did the Christmas tree move?" And they moved the Christmas tree, and fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin is just like crouching behind the Christmas tree, and he just starts whooping Vince's ass. And then he hits stunners on Patterson and Briscoe, and then he takes Patterson over to the strippers table where for some reason Mae Young is still dancing with her pants down, and he fucking starts smashing Patterson's head on the table, and then he puts Patterson's head between Mae Young's legs and turns him over so he's looking like directly up her legs, and he's like, Stone Cold just holds him there, and Pat Patterson's just like, he's just like, "Oh God, oh God, oh my God, it's so disgusting." And then it just ended there, and you just see everybody fucking leave Vince's party. So I guess Ric Flair won the fucking thing. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, fucking, there was a part where the Big Show was really cursed because, for one, the Big Show was wearing shorts, which looked really cursed, but he was also wearing like these New Balance tennis shoes. And fucking, so there's like a part where like they start telling Big Show to do something, so Big Show like gets up on like a bench and he starts doing an impression of Hulk Hogan, I don't know why he's like Big Show's just like, oh, let me tell you something, brother. These 24-inch pythons. I'm just like, why? Like, it's so cursed.
The thing is, like, fucking legitimately, Hogan wasn't there yet. Like, they were still waiting out. Like, he was still, in the XWF.
Yep.
Actually,
Which is something we'll be covering
like,
one day.
eventually.
You'll find out all about the XWF when we get to it, because my god. That's going to be a whole rabbit hole, but nevertheless. Um, then the other cursed thing I wanted to talk about was also the fact of there was a segment where A Train and the Big Show were sitting next to Kane, and they were all wearing Kane masks. You'll see it in the thumbnail. It looks so fucking cursed. Uh, but with that said, I think there's nothing left to talk about besides the main event. Um, oh no,
It
there is
was
one more thing to
shitty.
talk about. They did this promo uh, where they showed that the Undertaker took out Jeff Hardy with a last ride off the stage, and then he also fucking threw Lita off the stage, and apparently they're both in the hospital. And then they showed that like Matt Hardy got angry at WWF New York, and so the next on SmackDown he had a match with the Undertaker where the Undertaker like jammed a fucking chair into his throat and sent Matt Hardy to the hospital. And they're like saying, "Oh, who could stop this evil man, the Undertaker?" And then they end the promo, and fucking Jim Ross is just like, "Oh, if you want to if you want to send your prayers and well wishes to the Hardys and Lita, go over to WWF.com." It's just like, what the fuck? And then after that was the main event. If you want to talk about the main event.
Oh, it was dog shit. So the reason it was dog shit is because it was the longest match, but every time fucking Jericho was getting his ass kicked, fucking Cursed Angle would sit there and fucking help him,
Mm-hmm.
and then or like the very end of the match. I'm gonna make this short because this review's already probably long enough. And nobody wants to talk about Jericho. Nobody ever wants to talk about Jericho. I know I'm tired of talking about Jericho. So fuck you for making me talk about the main event. Um,
Yeah, talk about your baby
but
daddy.
go fuck yourself. Alright. I already had to talk about him enough for like legit 6 months. So shut the fuck up. Like, but um, basically Jericho hit the ref and goddamn there was a ref bump and then The Rock had the walls in and Jericho was tapping and they did like finisher spam. It's like they had infinite finishers on fucking W12 and goddamn after that they had fucking not Chris Jericho, but fucking Kurt Angle DDT The Rock on a chair, and Jericho put his arm over The Rock, 1, 2, 3, and just fucking over. Fuck this goddamn main event. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, the crowd wanted The Rock to win so fucking bad too, but he lost. So there's that. So that was the main event of the show. But Austin, I wanted to ask you, do you want to know all of Maven's matches in WWE since you brought it up?
Bro, I guess.
So, um, it starts in 2001. I'm not gonna read like all the house shows and all that shit. I'm just only gonna read like Raw and SmackDowns, because we'll be here all night if we read everything. So, he's actually had a lot more matches in WWE than you thought. So SmackDown, February 10th, 2001. He fucking. Oh, wait a minute. Is it? Oh no, October 2nd, 2001. Sorry. Um, they had the fucking date and the month swapped. It's confusing. So October 2nd, 2001, Taz defeated Maven in a 2-minute match. Then the next week, October 9th, 2001, Taz defeats Maven again in a minute 15-second match. Uh, then the next week, on October 16th, Maven defeats Taz in a 2-minute match. Then he wasn't on TV until December 21st, 2001, where fucking he I think they had this date wrong. Fucking, it's supposed to be the 24th. Where, oh no, okay, that's when it was. Okay, so it's where Booker T defeated Maven. The match was 3 minutes. That's the one we watched tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was in the 2002 Royal Rumble. Then on January 28, 2002. I'm sorry. He had a world title match against Chris Jericho. Oh my god.
Fam, what?
It was only 3 minutes. He lost in 3 minutes. And then he didn't have another match until February 5th on SmackDown for the hardcore title. He defeated The Undertaker. He beat The Undertaker for the hardcore title. It says title change. He beat Undertaker. Oh no. And then he didn't have another match. Oh my god, from February... Oh, okay, never mind. So the next match was February 12th, 2002. Maven... What is this match? Maven and Triple H defeat Kurt Angle and Undertaker by DQ. Then February 26, 2002, Maven defeats Goldust for the hardcore title. Then March 7th, 2002 on SmackDown, The Undertaker defeats Al Snow and Maven in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Then March 18th, 2002 on Raw, Maven and Al Snow went to a no contest for the hardcore title. Then March 26th, SmackDown, Raven defeated Maven for the hardcore title. Then then April 2nd, 2002, Hardcore Holly defeated Maven on SmackDown. There's so many fucking SmackDowns. Okay, I won't read every date because we'll be here all night. I'll just say the matches. Oh god, what is this match? Al Snow and Maven defeat Chavo Guerrero and Hugh Morris.
No, bro.
Then the next week, Chavo Guerrero and Hugh Morris defeat Al Snow and Maven. Then the next week, World Tag Team title match, Billy and Chuck defeated Al Snow and Maven and Chavo Guerrero and Hugh Morris. That was their tag division on SmackDown. What the And then... oh, then the next month, Hardcore Holly defeated Maven on SmackDown. Then he defeated Maven again the next week, and then the week after that, WWF World Tag Team title. It's the same match again. They did the same match 2 times. And then they got a 2-on-2 tag title match, and they still lost. What is this match? Al Snow, Billy Kidman, and Maven defeat Billy, Chuck, and Tajiri. And then, oh my god, they were getting World Tag Team title shots like every week. They lost. Austin, they lost. They had, oh my god, they had 8 tag team title matches and they lost every single one.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, then they had a match at WWF Jacked. Chavo Guerrero defeated Maven. And then fucking Billy, Chuck, and Rico defeated Al Snow, Maven, and Rikishi. And then they lost another tag title match. That's page number 1.
How many pages are there?
4.
Oh my god. Bro, I wasn't meaning all of them, dude. Like
You said he didn't have that
he
many
had a lot of
matches.
I was meaning before this.
So,
Dude.
Al Snow and Maven lost 2 more tag team title matches. Oh, sorry, 3 more tag team title matches. No! On fucking May 14th, he lost to Reverend Devon on SmackDown. What are these teams? Mark Henry and Maven defeat Albert and Christian. And then the next week, Edge and Maven defeat Christian and Kurt Angle. What are these teams? And then he lost to Test 2 weeks in a row. And then the next week, Maven and Randy Orton defeat Chavo Guerrero and Hardcore Holly. And then the next week, he lost to Christian. And then finally on Raw, he was on SmackDown for so long. Oh my god, he fought Christopher Nowinski and it went to a no contest. What is this match? D'Lo Brown, Johnny Stamboli, and Maven defeat Chris Nowinski, Justin Credible, and Sean O'Haire. Oh my god. He was on Heat. Al Snow and Maven lost to Chris Nowinski and D'Lo Brown. Oh my god, then he lost to Chris Nowinski 3 weeks in a row. Then he lost to Chris Nowinski and D'Lo Brown again. Oh my god, he lost to Chris Nowinski so many times. Then he lost to D'Lo Brown. Then he finally, after like 8 losses, defeated Chris Nowinski. Maven and Test defeat Chris Nowinski and D'Lo Brown. Then apparently he was in the 2003 Royal Rumble. Oh my god, he defeated Chris Nowinski, then he lost to Christian, then he lost to D'Lo Brown, then him and Al Snow lost to Lance Storm and William Regal. What are these matches? Then he lost to Triple Eight. Wait, what is this? World Heavyweight Championship #1 contender battle royal. Booker T defeated Al Snow, Batista, Chris Jericho, Christian, Jamal, which is Umaga, Jeff Hardy, Kane, Lance Storm, Maven, Randy Orton, RVD, not Rodney Mack, Rosie, Scott Steiner, Steven Richards, Test, the Hurricane, The Rock, and Tommy Dreamer. Alright, I'm not gonna read every single fucking match. I'm gonna read, like, fucking ones that seem somewhat important. What is Mark Jindrak and Randy Orton defeat Garrison Cade and Maven? What are these teams? This is in 2003 now, by the way. Oh my god,
Great.
Austin, he had an Intercontinental Championship match where he lost. What is this team? What? Evolution, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Triple H versus the team of Shawn Michaels, Goldberg, and Maven. What is that team?
That has gotta be the worst team I've ever heard, bro.
Okay,
It's just the Baldies and Shawn Michaels.
Now we're moving on to page 3. Fucking, oh my god. He got a couple Intercontinental title matches, but he lost all of them. Oh, what is this? Goldberg and Maven defeated Evolution, Ric Flair, and Triple H on Raw.
So the Baldies, bro. Like, why?
Oh no! And then, fucking a week later, Goldberg and Maven defeat Randy Orton and Triple H on Raw.
Why were they making them a team? Why?
And then a couple weeks later, Goldberg and Maven defeat Randy Orton and Ric Flair on Raw.
Bam!
Why are they a team? What is this team? Evolution, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Triple H defeat the team of Garrison Cade, Mark Jindrak, and Maven. Oh my god, I think that's the last of him teaming with Goldberg. What?
Good.
Maven and Trish Stratus defeated Steven Richards and Victoria. God, he teamed with Trish Stratus for like 5 weeks in a row. Oh my god, Austin. Chris Jericho and Scott Steiner versus Booker T and Maven. No, Austin! Austin! October 26, 2003, Maven defeats Scott Steiner.
Bro!
He defeated Scott Steiner! No way!
Well, Maiden's a pussy. That's what I'm gonna fucking say, bro.
Maven and Val Venus defeat Kevin Furtig and Travis Tomko. Who's Kevin Furtig? I don't know who that is. No, he got in a rivalry with Tomko. He beat Tomko. He had a rivalry with Val Venus. He lost to Val Venus. He got in a feud with Rob Conway. He lost. No, Austin. December 6, 2003, Maven defeats Mark Henry. How did he defeat Mark Henry? Then he got in a feud with Matt Hardy for a couple weeks and he lost. No, January 16, 2004, Maven beats Matt Hardy. Oh my god, he was in another world title battle royal. World Heavyweight Championship 18-man Battle Royal. Kane defeated Batista, Jericho, Edge, Garrison Cade, Nitro, Maven, Randy Orton, Rhino, Ric Flair, Rob Conway, Rosie, Shelton Benjamin, Steven Richards, Hurricane, Triple H, and Val Venus. What is his roster? Oh, he defeated Test on Raw. Maven and the Hurricane defeat Garrison Cade and Test. What is this team? Chuck Palumbo and Garrison Cade defeat Maven and Val Venus. No, Austin. World Tag Team title match. Law Resistance. Rob Conway and Sylvian Grenier defeat Maven and Val Venus. They got a tag team title shot. Oh god, then he faced Tomko like 5 more times. How many battle royals has Maven been in for the world title? There's another one. Then he got into a rivalry with Kane. Oh, he defeated Simon Dean. Oh my god. Another battle royal? Jesus Christ. Okay, now we're moving on to the last page. Just so you know, Austin, there's a 2023 match on here, just so you know.
Great. Fantastic.
So, we're still on 2004. After he faces fucking Chuck Palumbo, he gets in a feud with Gene Snitsky. He just loses to Gene Snitsky. Oh my god, Austin. October 25th, 2004, Maven beats Batista. How the hell did he beat Batista? Oh my god. Why did he have 3 matches with Jonathan Coachman? It says it's from house shows. What? 1 month control over Raw Survivor Series elimination match. Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Maven, and Randy Orton defeat Batista, Edge, Snitsky, and Triple H. It was at Survivor Series 2004. No, he got a World Heavyweight title match against Triple H on Raw. And then he lost to Edge 3 times. Another World Heavyweight title battle royal, that's 5. Then he got 3 Intercontinental Championship matches against Shelton Benjamin and lost all of them. Jesus Christ. Bro, he lost to Shelton Benjamin like 10 times. Oh my god. Then he just kept losing. Oh my god. What is this? Dark Battle Royal. No, this was a dark match on WrestleMania 21, Austin, in 2005. Booker T won the match, and he defeated Akio, Billy Kidman, Charlie Haas, Chris Masters, Danny Basham, Doug Basham, Funaki, Gene Snitsky, Hardcore Holly, Heidenreich, Luther Reigns, Mark Jindrak, Maven, Nunzio, Orlando Jordan, Paul London, Rhino, Rob Conway, Rosie, Scotty Too Hottie, Simon Dean, Spike Dudley, Sylvan Grenier, Tajiri, The Hurricane, Tomko, Val Venus, Viscera, and William Regal. That sounds like the worst match of all time. Oh, then he had a match at Backlash 2005, World Tag Team Title Gauntlet. Rosie and the Hurricane defeat Law Resistance and Maven and Simon Dean and Tajiri and William Regal. And no, not the Heartthrobs. Why are the Heartthrobs in that match? Not the Heartthrobs. Oh my god, they lost. He lost so many tag team title matches. Okay, is that
How
okay?
many more matches on this list, bro?
Oh my god, his last WWE match was June 20th, 2005. Rosie, the Hurricane, and Val Venus defeated Maven and the Heartthrobs. That was his last WWE match. But his career doesn't stop there, because he wrestled in all these other fucking... Oh, he wrestled in TNA. No. What is this match? Jeff Hardy and Kip James defeat Jeff Jarrett and Maven. Jacqueline and Maven defeat Amber O'Neil and Jeff Hardy. What? Oh my god. Why was he having... Oh my god. Scott Steiner defeats Goldust and Maven in something called UWF. I don't even know what that is. So he wrestled in TNA in 2006, and then he went to UWF in 2007. And then he didn't wrestle again until 2015. Johnny Clash and Maven defeat the Warren cousins in Create a Pro. Then his only other match in 2015 was the Cam and Connection, Anthony Green and Cam Zagami. They defeated Brian Myers and Maven. Then he had one match in 2016. Aesthetic Males, Beefcake Charlie, Damian Gibbs, and Mike Dell defeated Brian Myers, Maven, and Pat Buck. Then, Austin, Maven didn't have another match until November 19th, 2021 for ISPW. Andrew Anderson and Cheeseburger... Bull James defeated Adam Payne, Andrew Anderson, Cheeseburger, Craig Steele, Crowbar, Danny Doring, Hale Collins, Justin Carino, King Kahula, Lance Anoa'i, I think that's Roman Reigns' cousin, LSG, Maven, Michael Mars, Mr. Ooh La La. Who's Mr. Ooh La La?
I don't know.
Ray Odyssey, Sean Donovan, Tommy Cario, Trax, and Vic Delicious. Then he didn't have another match until January 4th, 2022. He was in GCW, Austin. Maven wrestled in GCW in the the Clusterfuck Battle Royale is what it says. Oh my god. That is a fucked lineup. The second gear crew, the second gear crew of AJ Gray, Mance Warner, and Matthew Justice defeated One Called Manders, Alec Prince, Big Vin, Billy Starks, Blake Christian, you know Blake Christian, Brandon Kirk, Buff Bagwell. This is in 2022. Charlie Tiger, Cole Radrick, Damian Drake, Dante Leon, Dark Sheik, Deranged, Early Morning Guy, Steel, Edith Surreal, Ellis Taylor, George Gatton, Grim Reaper, Hoodfoot, Hunter Freeman, Jack Cartwheel, Jai Vidal, Janai Kai, Jazzy Yang, Jimmy Lloyd, Jimmy Wang Yang, Joey Janela, Josh Barnett, Judas Judd Cassidy, Judiz, Juicy Finau, Kamikaze, Kevin Blackwood, Kevin Matthews, Levi Everett. No, not Lord Adrian. Not Lord Adrian. Do you know who Lord Adrian is? Do you know who
I do
Lord
not.
Adrian is? Have you ever seen those videos of those guys wrestling in Walmart and shit?
No.
You've never seen those? They're like these videos of these guys wrestling, doing wrestling moves in like Walmart and McDonald's and shit. That's that guy. He. Oh my god! Why did they book Lord Adrian in GCW?
Why did they book anything in GCW?
Lou Fisto, Matt Vandegrift, Sam Stackhouse, Sandra Moon. No, Sean Ross Sapp. Not Sean Ross Sapp.
You're fucking with me. You're fucking with me,
I'm
dude.
not. He was in
You're
this battle
fucking with
royal,
me.
the clusterfuck battle
No,
royal.
you're fucking. You are fucking with me. You are fucking with me.
I'm not. It's real. I'm not fucking with you. Sean Ross Sapp, Shaza McKenzie, Slade, the Invisible Man, and
Go fuck
Yo-Yo.
yourself, dude.
The event was, if you're curious, the event was GCW Joey Janela's Spring Break 6. Then he had 3 more matches in 2022. May 15th, 2022, Maven defeats Teddy Goods at FWF. Then July 24th, 2022 at CAP, fucking CPA, Kevin Tibbs, Maven, and Phil Cardigan defeat Jay Messias, Jay George, Liam Davis, and Mike Anthony. Then his last match of 2022, FWF Tough Enough Trophy Street Fight. Hold on, I gotta zoom in on it. No! Wait, what? Wait, what? No! Maven defeated Matt Cardona for the FWF Championship. He beat Matt Cardona for one of his titles. Does that mean Maven's still a champion? I think so. Then
can we be done?
There's one more match, Austin. His most recent match from July 23rd, 2023. What is this name of this match? I can't take this seriously. Austin, this match is called the 26-man Dropkick Diabetes 7 Timmy Gauchic Turmoil Battle Royal. Maven won! Maven won! He won! I'm done. He won the fucking Battle Royal. What? Who did he beat? He beat Bray McKenzie, Bruiser Schmidt, Christian Slick, Colin Crew, Kurt Fury, DLA, Gavin Gradley, Gorgeous Davis, James Lethal, Jeff Jevick, Jimmy James, Jimmy Jammer, Joey, Joey Zook, Cage, Calray Lovecraft, Lionheart, Mr. Crummels, Norm, Paris Sahara, Raven Aura, RJ Joneses, what in the fuck, Space Unicorn? I don't even want to know. The Bouncer, Wilbur Whitlock, and Roxy. God, oh my god, Austin, to make it so much worse, it was in Ohio. It was in Ohio.
It sounds like something from Ohio. Sounds like it.
What was that company even called? I don't even know. It just said, wait. No way, that's the event. The event was called Dropkick Diabetes 7. Why? What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm looking at like their company shit. Tommy Dreamer wrestles there, apparently.
Of course. Great. Can we be done? I'm done. Like, I'm actually fucking done, dude.
Why Tommy Dreamer, man?
I was gonna say, before you went on this whole Maven thing, I wasn't even saying he didn't have, like, that many matches in WWE in general. I was meaning before this show, but of course, you had to go on this fucking whole ass fucking rabbit hole. I was going to say that we're probably going to drop this on Christmas Eve, because we went through fucking Devon's childhood. We're going to go through fucking my childhood fucking Christmas wrestling show. And you'll see what that fucking is. Now fuck you. Fuck you for snickering.
Hey, we gotta give people the Christmas present of a Maven rabbit hole.
We don't have to, though.
But Austin, he defeated Batista and Scott Steiner, and he won a diabetes battle royal. He won the FWF championship from Matt Cardona, and don't forget he defeated Evolution with his tag team partner Goldberg.
You know, I won the I don't give a fuck championship.
You know, you joke, but that's probably something that GCW has. So
shut the fuck up, dude. Just in this, goddammit.
Well, that was the December 24th, 2001 episode of WWF Monday Night Raw, the Christmas edition, the Cursed Miss edition, Kurt Miss edition. You know, I'm gonna call it the Maven Miss edition. That's what it really is. Fucking.
We got one more fucking Christmas review in store. Okay,
Yep.
Just.
Yep. The next Christmas review is gonna be from Austin's childhood, I guess. I'm assuming yours wasn't that you fucking first seen it on a VHS tape, though, probably.
No, I watched it live.
So. Oh, God. Do we want to say what it is, or is it going to be a surprise?
We're going to save it. We're going to save
Okay.
it. I mean, technically, as, like, when this comes out, we can probably just drop this one on Christmas Eve, and then fucking the next day we'll drop mine.
Yeah. Well,
so I mean, it's only going to be a day of suspense for them.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that Christmas review tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for that. But yeah, Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Fucking your early Christmas present of a Maven rabbit hole. You're welcome for that.
Nobody wanted
it. Maven's the GOAT, man. Fucking, but thank you guys for watching, and we will see you tomorrow on Christmas Day for our Christmas Day review.